And I'm Pulse. I'm here, the man who goes by many names, but to me, he's Raz. How you doing, Raz? We get into this best of 5.
Ooh, and they ain't stopping.
I'm doing very good, personally. Thank you very much, Raz.
Thank you, yeah.
We're going to start this off with a couple bands. It's going to be the Vladimir, the Akali, and the Varus. First pick of the Urgot. That makes me very happy. Invictus Gaming with the Rakan, Camille, and the Gragas.
See, when we're talking about Red Side Rookie, Red Side Invictus Gaming, for me, it's always been about, as Clement mentioned, counter pick for your lanes, and leaving off Jackie Love and Balan on that island. Because primarily, first pick has gone towards a Varus pick of Rakan, something that makes it difficult for the bottom lane, and Invictus Gaming don't give them that much love, which surprises me that we have an Urgot first pick here coming out of JD.
Yes, we do, and I can't tell if I'm still casting RNG, because I'm looking at the Kai'Sa pickup and an Aatrox, something that RNG were picking up every single game yesterday until it was banned up against them. JingDong respond with the Rise.
You know what? It always seems like Duke just gets his hands on the Aatrox, not banned away, because Invictus Gaming, not going towards the usual bans of Aatrox and Akali, forcing JD to go into it. So it's very tumultuous. It makes it very risky for JD going into it. So Aatrox almost assuredly going into the top side. That's going to be a real fun matchup, unless if Yagao picks up the Urgot here, so they can trick it up. So real fun thing about blue side pick ban is just that try and flex a few things, Rise coming out for one. And Rise does work decently versus the Aatrox in the top side of the map, so we'll have to see. Wait and see.
It's actually funny, this was the exact same draft we saw some Rogue Warriors yesterday where they first picked both their solo lanes, where they had Holder go into the top lane, and then they brought Urgot into the mid lane with Doinby. So it's a possibility for JD, but you need a special source, which is Doinby usually, to make that happen. Brom's going to be the final pickup here from Invictus Gaming before they go into the next phase of bans, and actually looking towards Loken now in the bottom lane.
So the only thing that now comes to mind is that the jungler is still up and available, could be picked. JD can start banning junglers or start banning the Rise counter so they can be a little bit more comfortable putting Rise in the mid lane. One thing that comes down to mind is Orianna. Rookie is a phenomenal Orianna player. Faker-esque in the sense that you give him Orianna and he'll just take tower because you'll chip it time and again. Looks like they're going to be going towards the Syndra first and foremost.
Yeah, Syndra take away the carries here from Rookie, but I would expect to see an Orianna follow-up if Rise is looking towards that mid lane. Misfortune ban here against Loken as well. No SMLC on the field, but still a lot of AD carries trending towards that pick. Irelia, another big one for him, especially Ganu as well when Rookie goes international. So again, they're really just trying to beat down the carry potential coming out from the Rookie.
Yep, #1 in solo kills at a mid lane. So for Rookie, it is just about that 2v2, 1v1 in the mid lane. So protecting Yagao early and allowing him to roam is already the strategy coming here from JD.
It will be Zac to the jungle for Ning on the opposite side. Looking towards the Sejuani, looking towards a tank jungler here for Cleared. No, will typically trend towards something that can actually do a bit of damage in the early game. You think of him as the Lee Sin player, Olaf as well to his name, but it will be Sejuani in this game.
A few things to watch out when we go on towards the game. Zac being picked against the Tahm Kench primarily, so whenever Tahm Kench swallows someone up, it's like, we'll actually give you a little bit more to run for. So I like the Zac pick into it. Sejuani does counter just a bit because it can headbutt you while you're midair.
Wait.
Oh my god.
Wait a second. That is a Vayne lock-in here for Loken. We saw this yesterday from Uzi, and we're like calling him a madman, but it's Uzi. You give him the concession because he is the Vayne player. Loken, game 1 of this best of 5, locks in the Vayne.
Something in the RNG venue is just wearing off on Loken.
They are in Beijing.
He's
they are in the, I think the Jace pick as well from IG.
Oh my god. We're going to keep a little bit of time to see where the Jace is going. Rookie is a Jace player as well, so he can go top lane for Duke. It could be swapped through. But we have to talk about Vayne. Vayne being a pick into Kai'Sa out-damages the Kai'Sa, a duelist. So it seems like JD is saying, put me in a side lane. We saw what Loken could do in the last series when it is a side lane. It was impossible to touch him. So now you give him that ability. He's holding on to teleport too. He knows he has a free lane alongside Tahm Kench. So I want to see what he can do.
It fits Loken's MO. If you don't know him, he also looks towards the hyper carries, and he can position those team fights. He can pilot a Vayne very well. Can it get off the laning phase though? That's usually the question when you see a Vayne pickup come up in the current ecosystem, in the current environment. So going to be looking towards that one. But then when you have in the mid lane, potential Jace, could even be the Aatrox. We're going to see as we actually get to see the full rosters locked in just a half second.
That's why we'll work our way on the top side.
There we go. Buy some time.
Yeah. One thing I love about the Braum lanes is like, oh, you're going to try and pick into me thinking that I'm passive. Guess what? Level 2 gank bottom lane with the Braum passive. We've seen a lot of flash Braum Qs to set it up. So don't allow yourself to believe just because there's a Braum in the bottom lane, you can do whatever you want. Skirmish potential, 3v2, 3v3s in the bottom side happen so frequently in the LPL, knowing that they have the Braum early, so there's still something you have to think about there.
There's that, there's the matchups, but then I also feel like both of these two teams putting their best foot forwards. You know, you first lock in the Urgot. I feel like Zoom has straight up been the best Urgot we've seen so far, and indeed, in my opinion, just the straight up best top lane in the league right now. He's got a big challenge going up against the Shy and Duke. He's got a two-phase boss fight that he's going to go up against. Stage 1 is Duke. We'll see if he can take him down, because Duke also gets a good matchup himself. He gets a very early Aatrox.
Kind of feels like some Street Fighter vibes. You got to get past Vega. You got to get past a few before you get to Bison himself. You got to get towards the big boss. So I know the top lane discussions is something we always have to talk about. Zoom having such a phenomenal regular season performance, and then going up against Duke in recency since Rift Rivals, come out like a boss. But every top laner you talk to, look towards the Shy. So you're going to have to draw him out, and you have to do it in game 1.
Yeah, much like Uzi, he won't come off that bench until the team loses the game. He's sitting pretty on the throne, but Duke doing the same in top lane. We can actually see that it will be Aatrox in the top side, Jason in mid lane. We're still in Beijing for the remainder of the playoff run, and I hope the crowd's got something for us. This is going to be a hype matchup. The summer MVP in the mid lane as well for Rookie, and the year-long MVP. Everyone's talking about Uzi, everyone's talking about the year of the dog, but the guy just behind him, the contender, it's Rookie.
Yeah, Rookie. I know he just got himself that MVP. So why not take some time to actually talk about the fact that he got 2 split MVPs in a row? Are you kidding me?
Give him an international, please.
And that's what it really comes down to. In the spring semifinals, when he lost to RNG, the tears that rolled down his face was due to the expectation that he had in his own performance, but also the fact that he just wants a payoff. Year after year, he hasn't been in the finals. There hasn't been a single Rookie finals in the LPL. And it's a damn shame with how consistently he has been performing since he came into the split, known as the best mid laner in the league, not having that payout. This has to be the entrance. I know if he wins the series here today, he goes into Worlds. He's done that in the past. He just needs to find himself that LPL title.
I mean, Rookie is the benchmark for mid laners. I'll say it time and time again until I sound like a broken record, because he is. As we get onto the Rift here for our first game in this best of 5 in Beijing, our last semifinals before we head to Nanjing.
And there we have it. I mean, the JD manager, always going to roll with them. And it seems like if they take this series, he'll roll with them to Nanjing too. So that's what's on the line. It's a lot on the line today.
Yeah, the man's been giving it a 10 out of 10 in every crowd chant throughout the whole year. So listening to go to 11 in playoffs is definitely something. There's Keystones, top lane once again. Urgot looking towards the unsealed spellbook. Actually got 2 electrocutes coming out on both Rookie and Duke. We're seeing less of the electrocute nowadays. We're actually seeing the Dark Harvest seep into not just the jungle role, but into the laners themselves. So interesting to see that one come up once again.
So one thing you'll notice from Jace is, of course, you picked up on the electrocute portion of it. In the top lane, you get more airy because there's a lot more chipping battles. Just poke you here and there. But in the mid lane, it's a little bit more clustered. You're a little bit more close up. The usual strategy here for Rookie in these kind of lane matchups, he's trying to find the 1v1, try and force Rise to actually push into him and force those quick trades. That's what we would like to see here going into it.
Yeah, for sure. I actually really like the fact that Zoom went for the early Urgot as well, because in the draft, Aatrox is still open, right? What's going to be picked into that one? It's probably, Duke's probably going to pick Urgot. It's probably going to happen one of those solo lanes, but Urgot has a good matchup into the Aatrox in the laning phase, and as the game goes on, even in team fights, if you lock onto that Aatrox, he's going to be dragged towards you. It doesn't matter if he's going to try and crawl away, he's still on your side of town.
That's why people have been really surprised about what took so long for Urgot to come back into the meta. A lot of it's just, his laning strength has always been strong. What's really been the problem here? And I think it's more so the tank junglers that have been coming back into the meta with Electrocute being nerfed out. It's nerfed for junglers, changed for mid laners. Laners, you can get a little bit more consistently, even though it's less damage, so it's a little bit more in line with Thundershock of old. But for junglers, you just don't have the burst anymore. The trades just don't work, which is why you're seeing a lot more Dark Harvest for carry junglers.
Yep.
Or just more tanks because they can survive now. So now you're seeing Sejuani, and he's going up against the tank.
The Zac and the Aatrox.
Yeah. And then for him, makes a lot more sense with the Vayne that he has. burst down in team fights, and then so you can try and rally them in with his ultimate. So we'll have to see how team fight works for Urgot. Should be very much alongside Loken.
Yes, and you give the benefit of the doubt to JD because they've demonstrated absolute mastery over this pick with or against the pick, as Ling is looking for a bot side gank in mid lane, charging up the elastic slingshot, looking towards Yagao, will land this one, locked in place, but Shock Blast hits a minion, still a lot of damage. The Thundering Blow knocks him back towards the brush right here. Yagao doing a bit of a sprint right here. Do they have the ability to catch up? Yes, they do. It's too easy for Rookie. He'll get first blood.
Yeah, he's got his phase rush run. But at the end of the day, ain't no way you're running towards Clid. Easy first blood. Rookie finding himself in the proper position of knock him back. Just get on out of here. Clid's going to be able to hold the wave.
Real nice setup coming in from Ning. Wasn't cheesy, it was just solid coming out of the jungle. Rookie with the first blood. Gotta feel good for him in terms of mentality as well. You know, this guy has been a long time coming for the player coming into summer now.
Just take a look at the positioning here. Even though the Shock Blast didn't connect, found himself right behind Yagao, so Yagao had to take the hard way out. And it was hard because Rookie didn't want to blow Flash. He ended up blowing Flash anyways. But remember, Yagao coming back into the lane now doesn't have teleport nor Flash. It was already a difficult lane from him, now much harder. Ning might have a target on his back once again.
Yeah, the knock-on effect's going to be big. And we were talking about the fact that Yagao, he's got his own demons to face though in playoffs. He was facing down Scout, who's having the year of his career, takes him out off the list. Looks towards Rookie. I don't think there's any more solid mid laners in the league he could possibly take down to finally etch his name into the top 3 of mid laners as Ning. Looking for another gank, and he's just saying, you can take down Rookie, but can you take both of us down in this 2 versus 1? Waiting to charge him to mid lane, but Clid is here for the counter gank. Yagao, cutting off to the side. The stretching strike lands, the turnaround damage is big, onto Ning, chases after, but he still has the passive. Rookie knocking Clid back towards the tower, won't be able to finish him off, and Yagao feeling good.
Couldn't even pop the passive. At that point, they just have information on where Clid is, gives the rest of the lanes ease of playing in the lane, knowing that Clid is in the mid lane. But I still love the fact that he was positioning a counter gank. So good job for Clid, recognizing the poor matchup here for Yagao and that he didn't have Flash. Easy target, so it should have worked out. They should have been able to pop the passive, but Rookie backed up Ning and he got himself out.
You can see some of just the stats across Summer Split here for Invictus Gaming. If they take first blood, the win percentage up to 85%. First in the league. That's insanity. We saw, I know, RNG yesterday, they were up towards 80%. That was pretty big because they're on the 70 mark. 85%, Raz.
Here's the trick here. First blood win percentage, first tower. They just win a lot. So they've only lost that one versus RNG.
You're not wrong.
I just got to put that out there. But one thing that's actually been consistent with this team in both spring and summer has actually been in how fast they're able to take the towers. They're a team that moves quickly, almost by necessity, based off the compositions that they end up running. Yeah. They run out absolute strong laning phases, and they try to be able to end it early. They're a very fast ending game, so not so much in this composition. This composition, much different than the spring splits that they were run, is that Ning being on a Zac has some scaling potential. Jackulov being on the Kai'Sa, same as well. He picked up the blind pick of Kai'Sa, where in the spring split you'd see a lot more Varus performances. So this is more of a middle ground, which has been a change for Invictus Gaming from spring split to summer. They've had to find their team fights because they can no longer play in the LPL and have an inferior team fighting to the likes of RNG, to the likes of JDG. And so that's actually gotten much better, and it's not a true weakness for them coming into this match.
I mean, it worked for a long time, because if you win the laning phase, you don't get to team fights, right? But Invictus Gaming still, with the composition, trying to double down in this mid lane, but Clid, he knows it's going to happen. This time he's got the level 6 as well. Ning has his own, but chooses to just wait for a second, see if Yagao's going to step up, maybe hit this cannon. He might be looking to confirm this on the elastic slingshot. There he goes. Just gets in range, but he's locked down. There's the ultimate out from Clid. Uses the ultimate to get away from this one, Ning, and Clid is there every single time, reading the moves of Ning.
I like that from Ning, though. So he recognized that that was a possibility and immediately channeled his ulti. If that had not been the case, he would have been bursted down. So for both junglers, smart to recognize that the game is played around that mid lane.
And Clid immediately moving towards the bot side. He just used his ultimate in mid lane, so won't be able to engage this one from long range. Also sees that the bottom lane instantly backs away. They've got this one warded up, but they seem to be doing okay in the end. If you actually take a look at the CS, only a minor advantage going over to Jackulov. And this is the Vayne lane. We haven't even talked about the Vayne because everything's been happening topside.
Yeah, so much has been happening topside. And honestly, it's just been a little bit more refreshing knowing that Clid and Ning has just not been impacting the lanes that they had in the past, so you can really just see the 2v2 strength between Loken and Lumao versus Jackalov and Baolan. I know when we got that, when Loken and Lumao went up against iBoy and Mako in game 1, guess who won that one? It just in the outright 2v2. In fact, that was Loken and Lumao coming out ahead. So being able to challenge these players who are trying to pierce the top 3 of the AD carry in what is a very, very stacked role, it's going to be a challenging portion for them, but I think if they are able to come out in this series, take down Jackalov and Baolan, go up against RNG in the next one, they can make a name for themselves easily in that. The international audience may not know them, but 100% after that performance, they will.
I mean, it's the same story across the board, not just the bottom lane. For each of these individual players, you'll be looking towards these guys. Even Clid, a lot of Western audiences who just look at the top 3, the international teams, like, who the heck is Clid? Who's top lane? Who's this mid lane? But right now, you could probably say they're already top 3, but until they actually manage to take some names in the playoffs and actually ascend like RNG have ascended this year, that's when he really started to be a household name. But until then, they've got another big hurdle. It's Invictus Gaming. They've already taken down EDG. Bottom lane, there's the fidget onto Lumao. He's already used the Grey Half. Now he's canning underneath this tower. A 4-man collapse, and a shockwave goes all the way through the minion wave. It is such a good dive out from Invictus Gaming. 2 kills.
Way too clean. Even you see Wansekong in the audience, easy claps along. Yagao had no way to help out, didn't have teleport, and was trying to hold mid lane. It's on Clid, who was actually pathing top side. So I think it was just on Clid. If he was in the position, he would have actually been able to trade back. Just unfortunate, so that's 2 deaths there.
And Invictus Gaming, this is how they win games. It doesn't necessarily matter about the composition. This is just insurance for the team. They will still try and beat you down in the laning phase. They have the star power in their respective roles as well. You look towards Rookie, there's a reason why he is the Summer and Spring Split MVP, and then they make these set plays into the bottom lane.
And they were taking down Lumao, which is incredibly important. You know Lumao is going to help out Loken a little bit more. So now if Loken so much as gobbles up Loken, not going to happen. So really well done. Get the easy kills. They didn't expect it. The columns didn't come through that Rookie was coming down. Easy pickings.
I can't believe that shockwave went through the melee minion line. They
so
just
well
stepped aside. They didn't want to get hit by that one. Clear looking for the guy into the mid lane. Face to face with Ning. Decides otherwise. Backs on towards Jigao. This is the 4th gank I think I've seen in the mid lane.
It's a lot.
Yeah, 3 from Ning, first one from Clid.
It's definitely an awkward situation. It's much like when you're trying to turn the corner and someone's doing it at the exact same damn time as you, but you just don't hold out. You're like, maybe someone's going to turn in the opposite direction.
Hey, get off my ward. Rookie there to back him up. But again, Clid here for this 2 versus 2. Combat strength goes over to Invictus Gaming though, and the abduction down. Baolan over the wall. Reaction from Invictus Gaming is way faster than JingDong. And that'll be yet another kill. Their 4th of the game.
Quick rotation for Baolan. Was necessary, too, to be able to stun him once again. Lumao is not having a good game. He's supposed to be the tankiest member of the bottom side of the map, but he's getting scrapped up.
Yagao trying to make something happen, though. They have to go somewhere. Top lane is going to be the aggression point. Duke, he's pulled in, but he's got a second life. He'll try to crawl away from his tower. But where are you going to? Kazoom's going to chase you down. Come with me. That's a kill to the Urgot.
Yagao at least getting something on the board to the top lane. They're going to have to trade it, though. But at this point, they're losing so much anyways that they wouldn't have been able to defend the bottom lane. So Yagao, smart play, getting something going for your team in the top lane.
It had to be somewhere, otherwise you're just going to keep on losing. Invictus Gaming get the first tower of the game. Kai'Sa picks up that tower. Top lane will go down, though. We'll see if they give solo gold over to either of these solo laners. Nope. Going to be sharing this one.
And if Click can get this one down, this would be monumental. Because at this point in time, not only is Invictus starting to get their items rolling, if Jackalov goes back right now off this tower, gets Guinsu's, then not only will he be power spiking, but Rookie on these lethality items. Let's talk about that now. Teleport coming through.
Oh, multiple teleports actually. Late one onto that tower, but here comes the rest of JD from the Abyssal Voyage. But Invictus Gaming are going to fight their way out. They immediately move onto the Urgot. He's separated from the team, and Rookie comes in for the mid lane. It's going to be Duke with the kill.
Fast reactions. Rookie coming in from behind. So what is the AD carry going to do? Loken and Lumao got the hell out of there before he even started. That's just unfortunate. It turned out to be a smart play. That was usually what they would go through in the regular season when they're behind, but Invictus Gaming were ready.
They are. They just seem to win out in these scenarios when it comes down to the early game fights. And JD, I mean, a lot of their success against EDG actually came from their individual talent.
Yep.
You talked about the bottom lane winning, which was a surprise for us. We were looking towards the top side, actually, to be better individually, and then they just outmatched them when we came team fights in the mid game. It was just an outclass across the board. This, an entirely different ball game. Bottom lane, not outclassing. In fact, Loken and Luma actually not having a good game whatsoever. JDG coming out of laning phase 2-0-2.
And then the team fights. Bringing in more members, what JDG did versus EDG. But this time around, teleport was ready from Duke. Rookie was moving from mid lane to bottom lane anyways. So they were just challenging them to a 5v5, and they already had the gold in their pocket. So Youmuu's Ghostblade being picked up from Rookie. More mobility, movement speed there for him. Cleanse there so he can actually move around without being able to fear Sejuani. There's so much happening for Invictus Gaming. This is when the snowball is very clearly started.
JDG and Battleland unlocked from the bottom lane. They'll rotate towards the mid lane now, and it will keep on rolling for them. JD did manage to take a tower on the top side, though, so they're not completely just locked down in their lane. So we're going to have a 2 versus 2 in the mid now. But it's those first items that are being picked up, which are really going to accelerate it here from Invictus Gaming. Gwinsu's here from the JDG. Mid lane going to be the armor penetration item with the Ghostblade. Top lane building towards first item as well. So even in terms of combat power, going to be up there.
Yeah, at the very least, JD can match their lanes. The HP that you have off Rod of Ages for Yagao and for Zoom being able to pick up a little bit of defense for himself with the Ninja Tabbies is great if they stay in lanes. But the issue is Invictus Gaming are just going to push the lane and rotate mid lane. Their focus is going to be able to take that mid lane outer turret, and JD won't be able to stop them because they're too busy taking the side lanes.
I mean, JD just want time. At the end of the day, they have this Vayne pick who needs a lot of nurturing to get to the point where it's actually going to do a bunch of damage. Even when we saw Uzi pick it up yesterday, it was that one play at the end when red buff, we were like, okay, the Vayne pick pays off. But up until that point, it was the rest of the team. You're looking towards Xiaohu. And in this game, you're looking towards Zoom, you're looking towards Yagao and Clid, actually to hand off the baton when we hit 25, 30 minutes into the game. But that baton, I mean, it's been dropped multiple times already. He's chasing after Rook. He's going to go through that minion wave, but didn't take as much damage as he was necessarily hoping. Yeah,
I didn't time the minion wave portion of it because had the wave not been there, could have easily gotten it. Here comes Luma.
Oh, once again, same spot where he's getting abducted from by the Zac, and he's just locked against the wall. Rookie snipes him from the bottom lane. Another kill to Invictus.
The support just wants some wards down, trying to get any form of defensive vision, but it's not happening. It makes him a target. So just being picked away, poke coming through from Rookie, you can already see his stats here.
First in everything.
Literally everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
Out of the mid lane, Ning setting up once again with the elastic slingshot. Zoom stepping forwards. Yagao low on mana. And Rookie harassing from the side. Very difficult for JD even to defend their inner, or rather their outer turret. This is the outer turret in mid lane.
And here's the fear. Usually it'd be teams trying to chip down that tower. It's nowhere near being able to just die out. Issue is you have a Zac who can actually pick a team apart. You're going to have to respect this.
Frustrating, but that Shelly dropped in the top lane. I like it from Clid, actually drawing pressure away. So unless someone actually deals with it from Invictus Gaming, that completely diffuses the mid lane push. Very smart actually coming from the jungler of JD.
Yeah, very well done. Otherwise, I think that would have been a useless Rift Herald. You can't put it where the team is because Invictus Gaming would just completely demolish that with the pressure that they have. So just drawing Duke's attention to the top lane. Well done.
Yeah, I'm always taking the tower from full right there, so important stuff that buys more time. Very important for Yagao, for Loken to survive, not being in fights whatsoever. You get in a straight-on confrontation with IG, you're not going to come out.
And it's a bigger payoff if JDG can find that one team fight to pick up the game. 16 minutes in, once the clock strikes 20, of course, Baron's going to be up and available. So the fights are going to be being placed on the top side of the map. Could just easily be the difference between, of course, losing, bleeding, or taking a team fight, top lane tower, and Baron. Games can turn so quickly, and JDG's Baron stats, the Baron benefit stats, it just means how much of a lead can you get off of just one Baron, is top 1 in the league. So they're very efficient when it comes down to picking up the Baron and being able to clean it out. So that's the real fear here for Invictus Gaming.
And it really just feels like at the start of the game, yes, there are fears later on into the game, but for right now, everything has worked out pretty much to plan perfectly. Loken getting a lot of damage, though, as he's pushing forwards on the front lines. Rookie sat into the side, so be a little bit careful here. Bit of a confrontation in the mid lane. But again, those shock blasts are starting to mount up in damage. You know, JD, they've been running the gauntlet. They came in round 1, round 2. They managed to beat EDG, yes. But Invictus Game been sitting pretty in the semifinals, getting to see everything that's gone down, multiple days of preparation, watching JD. And it means that in the early game, when you can have everything go to plan, you know, it's like the coach says, do X, Y, and Z. And you're like, all right, I'll do X, Y, and Z. And everything's worked out up until the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, about everything here has been seen from Invictus Gaming. You're going to be able to take this mid lane. Oh my goodness,
big
what the
evade
heck?
there from Ning, but doesn't get the stretching strike onto anybody. Mid lane tower's going to drop and finds once again the grab onto Clid. He'll flash away, but Duke once more getting chased out there by Loken, who pops the final hour. But Invictus Gaming happy with their prize.
Yeah. Paying a lot of respects to Loken, so they're not going to pick up the team fight afterwards, taking the tower and running out, recognizing the Loken was getting a lot of DPS on Ning.
JD stepping up to the plate though, and we've got recalls coming in from multiple members. Duke just goes back to base in vision of JD. Does have the teleport, however. Tower down to half, and it's going to be Baolan blocking up the tower. Knocked away by the Condemn, but here's Rookie from the side. Once again, Ning trying to engage. Clid bringing up the rear. Doesn't have the ultimate.
So you can see how much of a problem it is for Invictus Gaming to pick a fight into Loken. He picked Vayne for a reason. There's no obvious lockdown that can threaten him. He can Q away from a Baolan Q. It's not real immediate lockdown like a Maokai. He's only really fearing Ning, and you can condemn a Zac flying at you. So we're going to have to see if that's going to pay any price going into the next fight.
I mean, JD, you really want this tower dead, but the minion wave diffusing very quickly at this point into the game, 19 minutes, and all of Invictus Gaming staring down the barrel at JD, clearing them out. But they're still sticking around. They're committed to this arrow. They want the mid lane tower dead. And Rookie's like, okay, I'll go to the bottom lane. I'll get some side lane fun.
Has a very small window going bottom lane because 30 seconds until Baron comes up, and knowing that he's bottom lane means this tower could go down. He's coming back immediately, though.
It might give JD the confidence to look for a straight-up tower dive right here. But again, Invictus Gaming, with Rookie off the map, you don't know how fast he's moving. He's even got the Cloud Dragon, so he might already be there. He might be already in effective range. So JD, move into the jungle, push up. Zoom goes towards the top lane.
Yeah, it's a dicey game that's being played by Invictus Gaming. So Zoom's saying, okay, you're going to pay attention to the bottom lane wave. Let me pay some mind to the top lane. Maybe he can take this tower too, range versus melee, unless if anyone comes out and helps Duke. Should be easy.
Yeah, Duke should be okay to clear out the minion wave here, but that's going to be the prison down. Locks on with the ultimate, but here comes the rest of Invictus Gaming. Throws them all back towards the tower. Clid trying to escape, but here comes Jackie Love. The killer instinct's on, and Loken turning it around in a 1 versus 2, and he's getting the better of them. Chases down Jackie Love, but he goes down. And Invictus Gaming with a clean ace.
A complete wipe, and that was the first time JDG were not in tune what Zoom was doing. On the top line trying to take that tower down, but the rest of the members didn't know about that. That's going to cost them the Baron buff.
5 for 0, Raz, in that fight. You're looking towards that one for JD to come out on top. It looked good to start. Loken in his own skirmish, but it all fell apart at the seams for everyone simultaneously. Invictus Gaming with 5 kills and the Baron at 21 minutes.
Just goes to show, if you don't have the perfect vision versus a Zac, you can come up and snatch you just like that. That was the difference between being able to take that top lane tower cleanly and then disengaging, or just getting clean sweep. Just take a look at this. Clid comes in and helps, but where's the rest of the team? Tom Kench is still bottom lane, sending out the ultimate because he comes in rather late, recognizing that he needed the help. So by the time he's already joined up, it's a lost fight. You've already lost your top laner and jungler, and so for the rest of it, the only hope you had was this 1v1 kill coming through, and he got locked down by the Braum Q.
Braum was there, it was a 2 versus 1, and that was really the difference maker, because if that stun wasn't there, he was probably going to kill both of them, and maybe it looks like a different fight. At the very least, you get multiple kills and perhaps prevent the Baron, but it just went from bad to worse.
And that's why you can see small points of why JD's comps look nice, that Loken, if he's isolated with Jackie Love, he can get that 1v1 kill. That's what he wants to find. Or if the fight's a little bit more constructed, that Loken will deal more damage to the backline than Jackie Love at this current time will. So all of this looks great for JD, the setup looks awful, and so IG comes out ahead.
Yeah, the setup's not there, and the combat strength isn't there. It's like what I'm watching Gladiator. Our contenders coming up there, already wounded into the final fight, and Invictus Gaming like, this is too easy, I just knock him over. And the tower's slowly being sieged out. I see you, Duke. Just trying to emote right there.
That round 1 knockout. New wave coming in too, so this is a pretty strong wave coming. That should just be tower. You can just see the entirety of Invictus Gaming waiting.
Over the wall, yeah. I mean, they all have access
to
get in there. And that's 50% of Loken's HP.
You're going back home, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, this is a mid-game where Jace is significantly far ahead. He has 2.5 items. Yes, he's going to do that. This is exact point in the game where Jace is strongest. Mid-lane tower being sieged out. Typically, you're like, this is the line of defense, the line in the sand that you want to draw. Not going to happen for JD. they don't even try and defend it. You know, if they do, they're going to straight up lose the fight, lose the game, and that's 1-0 is IG.
Yeah, there's no way they can try and contest that. Not just because the poke's coming through, Loken has to go back, Lumao's feeling that pain. It's also because Ning's just challenging his E, just channeling it. Just saying, yeah, you could fight us, but I'm going to jump into your back line, and you're going to be right in the thick of things. There's no way you can kite back. That's the real worry here, and they're going to go for this next inhibitor tower.
IG have taken so much off of this single play. The team fight into the Baron, into multiple towers. It's dying so quickly. Ning actually looking for the engage, condemned against the wall. Duke leading the charge though, tries to find him with Q2. And moving now on to the inhibitor. Yagao off to the side, seeing if he can find any purchase, but Baolan brings up the door, says, get away from my team. And Invictus Gaming, once again, a smashing grab. Trying to get a range here, Zoom. I mean, he's sculling as fast as he can, but that's Righteous Glory down. And Invictus Gaming get both of the inhibitors in a single push.
Just can't pick the fight. That was their best opportunity with how much they chunked Jackal up at the time. But he has red buff, so he's going to heal up for himself. But you can see how difficult it is for JD. If it's not Clid coming out with the immediate engage, then you're just going to see Zoom scuttling over there like a crab to see if he can just grab one over, just snatch him. It's not a possibility.
And you're probably looking at this comp. I know if you're an international viewer who hasn't watched the LPL or the LCK, like why is there
coming out of the coma?
Yeah, why is there a event? What is this composition from JD? But by this time, you've been watching their run. You put faith in this team. You put faith in their drafts that they know how to execute. Invictus Gaming though struck so hard, so early. They never had the ability to make this happen, and they never really turned online. And take a look at the fan vote. I know yesterday it was just completely dominating this one, over 50% of the total votes. But that's a little bit closer, but it's still over to Invictus Gaming, every single one of those players.
Literally all IG. Usually at least see one person, one flag bearer from the enemy team coming in there. None from JDG. And it's not just because they're getting slammed. It's also because name value, name recognition isn't truly there for this team. And so for a lot of these players, JDG is the first squad that can come in and really make a name for themselves. In spring and summer split, they've been doing just that. This is a rough game, but no way are they out of the series. This should be one of our closest series coming into this playoffs.
Yeah, 100%. Our final semi-final will be very difficult to call. I know I was coming to this, and I actually just don't know who the winner's going to be. I know it's going to at least go to 4, if not 5 games, but Invictus Game pushing up the top lane. JD clearing out the mid. It's just a tough life right now, even without the minion wave. Invictus Gaming able to slam this tower down. Ning looking for the engage, just land the stretching strike, but it's just pressure, zoning them away. The re-engage. JD have to go for this one. Zoom pushing forward, but he can't get in range. And Rookie sitting in the back lines. They can't get onto him. Ning on top of the Vayne. Mao with the save, but Zoom getting pushed to the tower, and Ning's going all the way in. He once again finds the Tam catch, and will take him in. Fear beyond depth, but now he's in the enemy team. It's actually got reversed on him right there. Loken drops like a sack of bricks. Jackula with the Quadra, and the steal on the end. Baolan gets something back. That's hilarious, says the Shy in the back lines. That's going to be the Nexus down. Invictus Gaming take game 1.
Man, Baolan's going to hear it, because that's all they're going to be talking about in the next 5 to 7 minutes in the back. Because that was a clean game from Invictus Gaming.
Too clean. It didn't even feel like JD had a single shot at coming into that match. From start to finish, it was airtight coming in from Invictus.
What I liked about it was just the headstrong persistency of the ganking mid lane. They recognized that Rookie was going to be the way they end up winning. Constant trades going into the mid lane. I liked what I saw because at the end of the day, Clid tried to get the counter ganks through, but they couldn't get the kill.
Now, we had the conversation about scaling. I don't think it was even needed. I mean, or you can also say that Jackal was scaled in the first 10 minutes. Look at the damage coming out, 18,000 damage, and the Jace coming up the rear with 17,000 damage. They just smashed all of JD by themselves.
Yeah, you know, when you get that 16K gold lead, at that point, what is scaling really? Unless if
what is scaling? What is the concept of scaling?
Yeah, unless if Yagao and Loken somehow was walking in the Baron pit and just found a sack of gold sitting there. There's no way they're going to be getting it for free. You can't get past Invictus Gaming when they're trying to play in their own element. That's what happened here. JD couldn't contest.
Yeah, a near perfect game coming out here. A single kill and a single tower to JD's name. Possibly the cleanest you could possibly hope for in a semi-final coming into the LPL. If you're doing this in a league where your opponent's going to just ram their face into yours over and over and over again, trying to make something happen, then good on you. Invictus Gaming, with this style, making it happen. For now, we're going to send it over to the analyst desk to take a look at game 1.
What on earth was that? Invictus Gaming! Look, we asked the question, what's going to break first? The playoff curse for IG? Or will they end up succumb and JD make the miracle run? And I don't know what super tonic Invictus Gaming have ingested, but this team is monstrous.
The answer is JD Gaming's going to break first, and that's a classical display of how the JDG versus IG matchup actually goes. Very fast games from Invictus Gaming most of the time, and the big thing about this does come from the drafting phase itself. JD Gaming, I felt like they went for a steady strategy. They had a good front line. They were looking at that team fights. They've been probably watching some LCS. They're going like, okay, we know how to beat IG. It's going to be about the 5v5 down the line. But what I felt like lacked from their team composition was the early game strength. The big thing for me was I feel like you need Clid on a matchup where he can actually out-pressure Ning, push him out of the jungle, and try to have positive influence on his lanes.
And this is exactly the question that we were talking about before getting into this game, was stylistically, how does a set play style team work up against a lane kingdom style team? And you very clearly could see the result of that. When Clid is the primary facilitator of your set plays on that Sejuani, especially post level 6, if he's defending Yagao mid, because Ning has ganked it, what, 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row, and is forced to sit back and play defense, then the lanes of IG are able to take these massive advantages in snowball, not to mention the kills that they got through the laning phase, and then it was just as easy as dive bottom, build a snowball, and just keep on running it forward. It was still a little bit back and forth. JD still were looking for opportunities, but it wasn't through set plays, it was through reaction plays.
Yeah, definitely that was the case, and I want to highlight Invictus Gaming's plays that really took them forward so far. I think the first big thing you look at is that bot lane dive, a very clean 4v2 type of play we were talking about. And the big thing that set this up was they understood the timing for JD Gaming. You know, Yagao has to take his blue. It's one of these plays we see with Edward Gaming all the time. If 2 people are on the top side of the map, that opens up your bot side for a 4v2. A little bit disappointed on JD Gaming for not reading that play incoming. That was definitely going to be the case. And once you see that quadrant being set up on the bot side, they then found another 2 kills on Lumao, and that's the Ning specialty for you. He controls one side of the map so well, it's on complete lockdown. You're never going to get it back.
And it's such a pain, too, because Loken and Lumao were playing Tahm Kench and Vayne. You've got Condemn. Wasn't level 6 yet, so didn't get the invisible tumble. But you've also got the Devour. But IG, no hesitation in the dive. There was no opportunity for JD to look for the outplay and try to turn that around. Now, we do have to talk about the mid-game swap that happened. The one chance where it looked like JD might have an opportunity to lunge back and try to equalize the gold after the Rift Herald push. This was the fight under the top tier 2.
Yeah, it was a kind of an interesting play for JD Gaming. What they were thinking was that we're going to move all 5 members into this location in an instant. What they did not expect was Invictus Gaming could also do that. Jackie Love flying through from afar, Zach coming in through the walls, and they didn't think that Invictus Gaming was going to be able to send 5 members to that location. If you look at that play, that was 3 people coming in on semi-globals for JD Gaming, so a high-risk play for JD Gaming, what they really like to go for, but Invictus Gaming, they read the play, they countered it perfectly.
Yeah, and like we said, it was a reaction-style play as opposed to a set-style play from JD, and the differences are very clearly stark. IG able to respond so much quicker. Our MVP for that game 1 goes to Rookie for his performance in the mid lane against Yagao. That Jace doing huge damage. 3-0 and 11. Look at that smile. What's not to like for this guy? He's got laning phase, team fights, sieges.
And he's got MVPs. This is why you give it to the man right here. He started well from the first gank, that little sidestep to get the knockback onto Yagao, set him in the right place, play the side lane well, controlled the quadrant with Ning, the most important thing about this series. And the danger of Rookie right here is if you ever show your mid laner first, he's just going to punish it so hard. There's almost no way that you can have a good laning phase when you show your cards first. And that's going to be the case throughout this series.
Yeah, and I think that's the contrast between regular season Invictus Gaming and the Invictus Gaming that we're seeing today. You were just talking about this before we came to the desk, was the combination between Rookie and Ning moving as a collective unit. That's been a bit of a disconnect for them during the regular season, and they still managed to get first in their group, and now they've solved that problem and turned it into a strength. This Invictus Gaming is very prepared.
It looks like they have no weaknesses, especially in the early game. Rookie plus Ning was not a duo I was especially hyped on. on. But this game, they've really shown me a different face. Their coordination in those early games were spot on, and they made sure Rookie could hard carry.
Well, they take the game 1 advantage in this series. We're going to take a break while we get ready for game 2. Don't go anywhere. The LPL playoffs will be right back.